It's the first NXT of the Netflix era. Yes, NXT is on Netflix Canada. What the fuck? NXT New Year's Evil was advertised as Bizarre World because the goddamn final boss, the People's Champ, The Rock, was slated to make an appearance on the show. Also, Corey Graves is now part of the NXT announcing team, and I doubt he's going to be able to tame Booker T. We kicked off the show with the NXT Women's title match between Giulia and Roxanne Perez, and we got a great hard-hitting sprint that saw the women kick out of each other's finishers. Giulia kicking out of pop rocks was a great moment, as that has been one of the more protected finishers in wrestling. Even interference from Cora Jade wasn't enough, as Giulia would hit a nasty Northern Lights bomb for the title. And even though this was a shorter match than anticipated, this was still a banger, a high super hit from me. These were just two of the best women in the world just doing their thing in the ring and being awesome. And also, it felt like these women are not hitting the gear that they want to. And I cannot wait to see Roxanne Perez versus Giulia on the main roster. But now we have the beautiful Madness and Giulia as NXT Women's Champ, and that was definitely the right call because I really don't see Giulia lasting in NXT a very long time. I also need to give some flowers to the prodigy Roxanne Perez. My girl held it down as Women's Champ for NXT and arguably the best women's division in all of wrestling. She put on great matches. She was a great promo. She was a great character. I'm thinking that her time in NXT is coming to a close, but man, did she have one hell of a run, and I can't wait to see what she does on the main roster. In the back, Eddie Thorpe was attacked, but Ava gave no fucks, probably because it didn't happen in the parking lot. We got a look at Ethan Page attacking Javon Evans and injuring his jaw, making me believe that Evans' new entrance theme is going to be Through the Wire by Kanye. Next, we got a fast-paced fatal four-way between Stephanie Vaquer, Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice, and Cora Jade for a shot at Fallon Henley's Women's North American title. We saw kicks, forearms, knees, dives, and just general destruction. But it took an STP from Vaquer on Jordan to give her the title shot. And this was a nice solid hit of a match. Once again, just a showcase of some of the best female wrestlers in the world doing their thing. Stephanie Vaquer, for me, winning was the right call, and I am going to be morbidly entertained seeing her absolutely murder, death kill Fallon Henley. Ava then declared that the Unholy Union will appear as #1 contenders for the women's tag team titles in a match next week. After we had all that amazing female talent though, Oba Femi had to come in and scare all the little children in the audience. After we got a shout out to Triple H and Nick, we got a nice 6-woman tag between Fatal Influence and Shotzi, Gigi Dolan, and Tatum Paxley, who Booker T dubbed as 3 freaks, and I can be down with that as a faction name. We got bodies all over the place, but at the end, it would be Shotzi who would hit Welcome to the Ball Pit on Fallon Henley for the 3 count. And this was another solid hit of a match for the women. The first hour of this show went bell to bell, wall to wall with women's action. Give us Evolution 2, you cowards! And it seems like we have a bit of a conundrum as Shotzi and Stephanie Vaquer both lay claim to a shot at Fallon Henley's North American Women's title. The next segment blew my mind. Ava is admonishing Ethan Page for injuring Javon Evans, and the goddamn Rock shows up, gives props to Ethan Page, and pretty much guarantees his spot on the main roster. And as someone who has a personal investment in Ethan Page, as someone who's been a fan of his from his TNA days, this was something I was marking the fuck out over. The Rock then asks Ava on advice on what to say to the NXT crowd. Next up, we had the Heritage Cup match between Lexis King and Charlie Dempsey under sudden death rules, and this was a hard-hitting match that had a finish I have not seen since legit the 1990s. Dempsey attempted a leapfrog, only for King to headbutt him low. The coronation would give King the Heritage Cup, and this was a fun match with a great finish that only made me pine for the days of Eddie Guerrero. This was another solid hit of a match for me. Let's see what is next for Lexis King. And as expected, Shotzi made a claim to Fallon Henley's Women's North American title, so Ava made a match between Stephanie Vaquer and Shotzi for the #1 contender spot at next week's NXT. Rest in peace, Shotzi. Our main event was the NXT Triple Threat match between Champ Trick Williams, Oba Femi, and Eddie Thorpe. And we started without Thorpe, as Femi and Trick would try to outpower each other. But you learn quickly, you can't outpower the ruler. Eventually, Thorpe would join up in the match, but honestly, he made absolutely no impact whatsoever, as Oba would destroy both men, hitting Trick with a fall from grace to win the title, and this was fun. Yeah, Thorpe didn't need to be involved in that match at all, but that was some good drama, and it was always good to see Oba Femi just wreck and destroy bitches. This was a super hit of a match for me, just a nice hard-hitting affair with a great finish, a great winner. Oba Femi is the truth. This guy is a WrestleMania main eventer in the making. Also, I am pretty sure that Trick Williams' time in NXT is done. Post-match, Giulia came out to pose with Oba Femi as the two new flagship champs for NXT, and I am giddy over this new era of NXT. Finally, the final boss, the people's champ, The Rock, came out to address the NXT audience, and this was a crazy promo. Dude dropped like 10 F-bombs, told the world to basically shut the fuck up about his interaction with Cody at Raw and enjoy the ride. This was a 10-minute Rock promo basically saying, hey, The Rock is on NXT, which was fun, but it really didn't lead to anything. Such is the world, but still a surreal fucking moment. At the end of the day, the first NXT on Netflix was a success in my opinion. We got two big new champs with Oba Femi and Giulia, kicking off a brand new era of NXT. And the show also did a really good job of establishing that, yeah, it's going to be the women that are going to be running this joint. This was a super hit of a show for me, and I am excited to see what NXT is going to bring to the table for us in 2025. Well, those are my immediate thoughts on NXT New Year's Evil. What did you guys think of the show? Share your thoughts, leave your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can get notifications as well. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care. I just want to hit a few goals. 1,000 subs. That's it. So if you're a fan of the channel, please subscribe. Also, if you like what you see here, be sure to hit the like button. And if you have thoughts, share your comments. All of this stuff helps out with the algorithm so I can keep putting out this content for you.